we're going to be working on the night before, but it was the way that you were talking about this game that really caught my attention.
I meditated last night, mentally preparing for this. If you know these two teams and you know their type of siege, right, you know what's going to happen. If you don't, stay tuned. But the people who knows, the knowers in chat, you know. You know, Ollie.
If you know, you know.
Do you know?
I know.
What do you know?
I know quite a lot.
There's no Dokkaebi.
I probably know more than you. Dokkaebi going to be removed here.
Oh, what a map to start it off with as well. Cafe.
And Nook as well. No surprises. The nice coordinated, good look, have fun from Wild as well. We need to, if Wild win today, we need to ask Ginny to pose that question in the interview. Mirror.
Good ban.
Valkyrie, perhaps, as the final ban.
I think Azami needs to be warranted these days in Cafe.
Azami,
Cafe inside a piano is a nightmare, especially whenever teams aren't bringing as many nades as we know in the meta at the moment. With Nook, of course, being a big ban on every single map, that's already 2 nades gone. We've been over that. Yeah, the Azami, it's warranted. I think it is definitely a necessity. Creates so many issues inside a piano because there's a lot of items, bits of furniture inside of piano, and you can stick those Kiba barriers to anything and it will cover up the windows. And it's, in terms of cover up the windows, it's far enough so it just can't get punched off. So it is tricky.
Ooh, a little 55 to 45. Not too much of a difference there.
Attackers need to locate and defuse.
Let's see what happens in round number 1. Already we're going to be going to... I mean, it isn't a primary choice site, but on Cafe you typically will see the majority of sites played.
Yep.
A lot of it comes down to personal team preference, as many of them are viable. Already the 6 picks, Unlimited, I think maybe anticipating that top floor there for a second.
Well, top floor is generally expected to be the number 1 picked, but I think with the bans, with Mira being banned away and Azami, how do you protect piano?
Yeah.
What do you resort back to just the, we've got a single shield in Pixel? Because that's what was always the go-to, and it was quite easy for teams just to clear them out. Azami being introduced, it means you can actually play inside of piano. You can cover up the windows, like I mentioned before. Mira can help you do the same thing, set up the mirror windows inside a bathroom, deny access to piano.
One of the greatest things about Cafe is that you always see a very full defense, or at least you should. Because it is a map that you've got to have some sort of a presence on.
It's not a roaming
floor.
map. It's not a roaming map. And the reason why it's not a roaming map is you're pretty much restricted to more or less 2 staircases. I know you have the third one, you have that gold stairs down at the bottom, but it's only really a connector from the bottom floor to the mid floor. You don't have a full-scale set of stairs that you can go with, only the 2. Red stairs is very easy being covered off. You have a hatch, for goodness sake, you can sit on top of it and watch anyone flanking up red stairs. And even white stairs doesn't see all too much play. White stairs is usually, we're going to rush white stairs.
Yeah.
Our initial plan didn't work. Let's rush up white. It's not like a main highway. It's the back road in.
Typically you just get defenders occupying spaces that they can then place utility in, and they will look to make rotations at some point, but it isn't a typical roam. It's much more of a sit and see exercise with multiple areas to fall back into. For the meanwhile, Unlimited going to be getting those Flores drones in, see if they can gather any further information, maybe make a few little renovations of their own.
That's them making vertical if anyone was tucked in towards pillar. And also opens up the that desk area, one of the bars, and you have that clean line of sight onto that swinging towards heaven as well. So a good Flores drone. Loves different angles, and right now we've got a train push. IWI by himself. Knows he's up against 1. But Gisela just has to stay alive, Ollie. He knows he has somebody who can cover him from Fireplace if needed. There can be that close angle being held. But he himself's actually going to fall back, not wanting to risk. And, well, I mean, with 2 minutes already burned off the clock, you probably want to keep your man advantage. That's wise decision-making from Wild, not giving those ones away.
Seems like there's a lot of different little 1v1s sort of being threatened.
I mean, that's
at
Cafe.
the moment.
That is Cafe. Look for your picks and get man advantage. That's what
really
Cafe's all
got
about.
to take advantage of those picks now. Control has now been gained here inside a train. IWI is going to take a bit of advantage of that. The thing that Unlimited have not got a lot of at the moment is vertical pressure. And with the time ticking down to 30 seconds, that's going to start to become a big problem, because now you can start to see the defenders make these rotations. Got Aces now occupying the bottom of red stairs. Maybe doesn't get the heads up on the player that's pushing down brown.
Look at Aces, danger man. Here he goes with the flank ollie, and Unlimited do find one, but look at this, Aces. Here's a massive rotate up, finds one. Can he find a second one? The diffuser's being planted in, default in towards reading. Impacts, he knows there's a man there. The diffuser's got to get planted now, ollie, and it's going to be into the post plant.
Army getting away with it, but only for a brief amount of time. Kaneo in position to shut him down as kills continue to trade. It is actually going to be a 2 versus 1 here. Kaneo with the pistol drawn finds his third. He knows exactly where the plant's gone down. How much information has he got to be able to assist him here? There is a Valkyrie camera alive. We can see Gisela jumping onto that. Kaneo, he's threatening to defuse. Comes off briefly, but Hypex, he's going to hit him with the swing. Timed incredibly well. Kaneo still down to the pistol there, didn't have time to reload the primary. Was never going to be an easy option. Unlimited making it happen there under pressure.
I don't know how, though.
Shouldn't have happened.
Unlimited did not take above. You mentioned it. There was no vertical gameplay. None of that was going on. On that site, pretty much anywhere that you want to try and plant inside of reading can be opened up from above. Why are WYL not doing that? Why are WYL not seizing that opportunity? If you know they're just going a bit of a flat push across the mid floor and no real intention. Basically, if a team's taking top floor, you'll know about it because everything goes into it. The whole whammy, the utility clear, trying to clear players in towards the back of Cocktail.
The whammy?
Whammy!
It's whammy demo. We pronounce it whammy in this game.
Do we have to work again? I was actually enjoying my time off.
We've got a few back-to-back days this time. You're going to be sick of me.
10 seconds left.
See, people think I'm the annoying one. It's not. You're the annoying one.
5 seconds left.
I'm trying to sit here and give the good people a bit of information about what's going on. And you just have to stop me. I don't even know what I'm talking about now because I'm so angry with you.
You were talking about the whammy.
I was not talking about whammy. I said whammy. The full whammy, it's a saying. And there's a Tachanka just to make me even more annoyed.
One of your favourites.
No, it's not my favourites. This... anyone who's watching the Major, there's a few Tachankas happening here or there. I seen a Tachanka be brought for Cafe, and once again, it just proves my point that it is bad. Because Tachanka, right, we've seen this a few times, Tachanka opens up the whole wall, and the idea is you're expecting a bakery push, you sit in the back of freezer, and then you just fire the Molotovs in towards the breach, vice versa. If it's a full freezer take, you can go into bakery as Tachanka, and then fire all of your Molotovs into the default plant behind the bomb. That's the way the Tachankas work. You have the two options, you can rotate, and then try and deny with the utility. Every time I see that happen, though, Tachanka literally just gets shot in the head because he does not have a gun in his hand, which is the biggest issue with Tachanka. I've said it since day one, that's the issue. You cannot shoot back.
There's also the small problem that you can just walk through the Molotovs and only take a small amount of damage compared to other things. So that is a bit of an issue as well. Unlimited. Again, going for a fairly flat approach, not unusual when you're attacking onto bakery. Kaneo. Not the easiest task here. Jay was getting a bit reckless potentially in and around the double door onto bakery. It was a comment that we made about Jay and his playstyle in previous games was that he was giving himself away a little bit soft on occasion.
Look at this from Canio. Look where he is. He is the soul man inside of VIP, but he's actually hidden himself in behind the Christmas tree, and I still don't think they know he's there. Gisela, he's just prone inside a freezer, picks up, but never mind Nordwin. Canio exposes himself. Canio is going to try and play the long game and just try and hide away. But what a great pick, has to be said for a while. They've eliminated the Monty, a massive pushing presence that Unlimited were trying to bring into the fray of things, but it's now been shut down. Unlimited, where do you go? You've lost your human drone. You're down a man. And you still have, I hate to say, you still have a Tachanka to burn through.
Hypex might find himself one for free here. Aces just going to be on the halfway landing on these white stairs. Hypex, he knows that something's up here. There must be a drone watching it. Going to maybe go for a little bit of a distraction for the meantime. Jay sees a little bit of success, but Aces will be rewarded for that patience. Jay picks himself up 2 there in the closing part of the round. little bit of fancy footwork in and around Bakery. Nets himself a couple there, and that looked a lot easier for Wild.
Yeah, at Unlimited, both of their pushes have been, again, very flat. It's been very one-dimensional. There's no real added element which is going to make Wild sweat at all. Again, I think the first round, I think Wild just had to react a little bit quicker, had to use the advantage of having the top floor. They didn't. This time, Wild were set up very basic. Very basic, a VIP hold and a Bakery extension. And Unlimited haven't cracked that. The biggest difference, and it's probably the step that I like to be added in the middle, as you're looking to execute onto the VIP player, what you need to have is that hatch open. You need to have the freezer hatch open because it stops what Gisela did. And that was just lying prone, up against a reinforced wall, finds the Monty as he walks through. That hatch is open, there's no issues. I think before you look for that VIP execute, I literally don't... You don't lose anything from going above. Going above's great because you can clear out the majority of the bomb site.
10 seconds remaining.
It's almost like Unlimited know that Wild like to play kind of loose. Aces is typically always off-site somewhere.
Nomad has to be...
You got to start bringing Nomad. You got to start taking above and just deal with the player that's rogue. Deal with that player that's out there. Because so far, ignoring them and pushing the site isn't really working too well. Wild now going to take us up to the top floor. And we are going to get to see the Ying that was threatened in round number 1 from Unlimited. So we'll finally get to see what their chosen use case is going to be. Of course, Ying, fantastic for gaining a little bit of space and causing a little bit of disruption.
Interested to see how Wild want to approach this. With the bans, Mira, Adazami, having piano isn't going to be the easiest of time. There's the Echo Drone being used as some good information. 10 seconds is so much time. You can send it out. There's a good trick on bank. If we get another bank game this, Ollie, I'll maybe teach you about a little trick if we get to it that you can do with Echo. It's quite nice. But yeah, it's another good one from Echo, being able to gain that information, seeing that nobody's in the windows. It just allows Jay to have more flexibility, doesn't need to be worried. And of course, I think this new Echo trick's kind of been picked up since the Valkyrie change happened, where you can no longer place Valkyrie cameras outside. Oh, the Echo cam's gone. Well,
it can happen. Can and does. If you're going to be playing utility that far off the site, you are expecting to have the occasional casualty here.
It's an East Stairs with Skylight Ying push. That's what they're going for. That's a great drop from Rorik, and that's so crucial. If you're looking for the Skylight drop, you need to make sure nobody's in Cigar Shop, because you can get that long angle from Cigar Shop onto anyone on the windows, in towards Heaven, in towards Cocktail, and obviously just kill anyone as they drop Skylight.
Wild not going to initially find a refrag there, just going to bide their time somewhat. There's still so much information floating around here. Unlimited, they've got the drones working for them. They don't have too many of them left alive, though. But what they do have is gathering that info.
A Roman Jaeger? Aces, get back up.
Aces loves it, doesn't he? He's always out there on the roam, and my worry here is that he gets cut off because there are a couple of little pinch points here.
He leaves the site weak. Jaeger's not going to have a C4 from below. He cannot deny plants. He's went for the jump out from the double window, and now they know that there is a player lurking below. This is surely where now you pull the trigger, you go for the execute, and they will do so, Ollie. The drops comes in, smokes off, in towards Freezer. In comes the Ying. Canio is gone, and Aces, well, he's caved the game up, and look how quick Unlimited have jumped on that.
Unlimited took full advantage. As soon as they saw Jaeger come out, that was it. The utility was deployed, the Candelas were out, the smokes were deployed. Aces has made himself back up to the washroom now. The diffuser is in Army's hands, and Nordwin, he's going to keep adding bodies to the tally. Aces finds one, but it won't be enough. IWI swings on in at the right moment. A good bit of information exchange there from Unlimited. The time was really getting to them in the end.
I was a bit worried there for a minute there. I see the diffuser carrier go for a revive at 7 seconds to go, and then also gets downed himself.
Bit dodgy. Still, a round's a round.
It is.
Regardless of how you get it.
I mean, Unlimited just being able to capitalize on that opportunity. Knowing that one guy's offsite, especially being a Jaeger, you've nothing to fear, no C4s from below. That's how you do it. Ying comes in. Yeah, job done. Roman Jaegers on a cafe. This is the thing. I don't know how you feel. I do not like roamers on top floor. Because I think, what does it achieve? Right?
It's the only Something that I like to see is somebody dropping with a C4.
Well,
but I don't like. But you don't want them roaming.
How often do you actually see C4 kills for the top floor defense?
It really isn't.
I don't think it happens a lot, and I think the reason why is where you'd want the C4, it's easily shut down from literally top floor. Because remember, you have those double balconies in the top floor that look down into pillars where you'd want the C4. It's quite easy.
Quite simple, Demo.
It is. I'm not the biggest fan of roamers. I think you set up shop for the top floor. It is a horrible bomb site to attack. People forget that. There is no real easy way into attacking this site. You either have to walk through single doorways or just a simple double breach, or you're swinging in through windows. It's not an easy bomb site to attack. So I don't know why you would then try and go for roamers and leave it thin on site and then give the attackers more Yeah, that's just the way my mind works.
Maybe that's why you're here, Demo. They're not playing.
Just had to What?
I'm just saying it.
Yeah, but everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Oh, for sure.
You know, I see the game. I see the game the way I see the game.
Yeah. Well, you've played the game.
I played the game.
Oh, Hypex.
IQ's good pickup. I was wondering why it didn't come in earlier. You know, I think WYL have shown that they like to play the info. They like a Valkyrie. They like an Echo.
Valkyrie every round. There's been Echoes. You know, it makes a lot of sense to bring the IQ.
IQ's good, of course, at the top floor. You can see where utilities also placed. How many WAMI discs are inside piano? How many ADSs are stacked up? Is there any ADSs for a cocktail? Is maybe cocktail a better approach? You can nade the guys in behind the back of bar. Good info you can gain right from the early kickoff.
It's one of the main things that makes Cafe so difficult, in my opinion, is that you look at the time now, we're just approaching the halfway mark, and we're only just getting players into that top floor.
Like I said, it's scary to get into the building.
It just takes so much time, doesn't it, to really get yourself in there and established on that top floor. It is one of the things that makes it a more difficult map to attack. IWI, he's got some information. He's not quite got the shot, though. Puts the damage in onto Giesler, the drone. He's going to maybe help him and follow up here a little bit. He's just going to push this aggressively, pre-firing as he goes. Nice and free there for IWI. Setting himself up there and his team in this round with a nice advantage.
I love that aggression. Confidence showing massively there from IWI, knowing that Valkyrie, you've just lit Valkyrie up to at least 2 HP. Push for that kill. What do you have to be scared of? The other guy's going to be panicking. So Unlimited. You've got that opening pick. Once again, neglecting the verticality that they can play. They've left one guy above, though. They've left Nordwind to maybe try and stabilize and stop those players retaking above, which is something that we did mention, and he will start to challenge Canio above. Nordwind, a lot of pressure. If he falls, then perhaps whole strat might go out the window, Ollie.
There is some pressure on him here. IWI is going to get taken out there, Jay, with a nice long angle. It's going to level things up for the time being. But on the top floor, kills continue to exchange. Opening up that vertical. Rorik, you've got to check to the right. BZ is going to be there in position to take him down. And now this round is looking pretty drastic for Dunlimited. They aren't going to be able to get that diffuser down. They aren't going to be able to get all the kills. Jay picks 2 up there from the bottom of White. Just falling at the final hurdle there.
Well, they went for the exact same attack. Nothing has changed there for Unlimited. They've wanted to play very flat in towards the mid floor, take control of train, almost think that, oh, they're going to try and plant inside fireplace, but nope, it's just to gain control of that side of the map, and then they hit the double walls on reading, and they're trying to jump in through the reinforcements. Just say, oh, we don't need to worry about above, we'll leave one guy. Look what happened this time. 2 roamers above, doubled up on the lone man upstairs, trade them off. Who has impacts? Oh, it's the Melusi. Impacts above. Diffuser can no longer go down in the primary place. It didn't even really get down to that anyway, because it was good swings from Wild. You know, Jay just sat on White with the WAMI. Bang, bang, bang. Picks up the kills because they know the push. Probably not the best idea from Unlimited is to just try it again.
Downstairs we go to the kitchen. You'd be fairly happy here as Dunlimited with a 3-3 split, to be honest. Yeah. I don't think that they're going to be feeling too hard done to.
No, free is good. Free attacks on Cafe is not easy. I do feel as though Cafe is a map that does rely massively on just staying alive. Like, if you're down men on Cafe, there's so... Cafe Top, I always like to think about Cafe Top Floor because I think it is, you know, it's up there as being one of the best bomb sites, I think, to spectate in Siege. Because there's so many goddamn angles you can get shot from. If you think about walking through, like, piano door, there's about 20 different angles. You know, I think that's always a challenging attack for the attackers. And even basement as well. You can get shot from God knows what long angle inside of, like I said, let's say you're pushing towards freezer and you're peeking down the window. But again, 20 different angles. There's so many.
Why do we suppose we've got the old Maru here?
You're up to something.
Definitely up to something indeed. Aces. Ooh, curiosity nearly gets the better of him there. That's one of those situations where you're going, how have I not killed him because all I could see was his head?
Pretty much.
Nice Jaeger headgear there for you. Going to get himself in onto that top floor. Rorik wasting no time. Aces, though,
he knows.
He will have definitely heard that and is going to be able to take advantage. Rorik, you might have got a glimpse twice, but that is not going to be enough, my friend. Reckless, really, from Dunlimited. We said, you know, you need to take control of this Roma. You need to... There's only one of them. Aces is doing this all on his own, by the way, Demo.
And we've mentioned before about Dunlimited. They need things to go their way. If they start losing players, if they start losing picks, it's very rare we would see them come back from it. They are a team which is things have to go perfect or they will go horribly wrong. And, well, Exhibit A. This is what happens. They went for the risky play above, trying to hunt the lone man. Rorik just didn't win his one. And I suppose that's on him. You don't win your ones. You're not winning Cafe. You mentioned before, it does feel as though Cafe has these little individual battles and skirmishes that go on all the time, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Look, another one.
IWI takes almost more damage through the wall there, but Dunlimited, they're not going to waste any time here with this one. They know that there's going to be one player inside of Christmas, but with 50 seconds left, no diffuser in hand, low health on IWI. Is that the only battle that they're going to win in this round? Quite possibly. Aces guarding the diffuser with his life, and everybody knows it. Picks himself up the quad onto the already... Oh, no, not already low play. That was actually a headshot as he takes IWI out there. At this point, just give it to him. Aces with the ace.
Maurice!
Gonna sound quite good, isn't it?
Maurice with the ace.
Molotov's coming in now to restrict Hypex's movement. We got Toxic Babe canisters as well, as with only 20 seconds left to go. It's very unlikely here that Hypex does anything, and we see quite a rare sight there, Demo.
The first one I've ever seen.
The first one that I've ever seen. The Molotov actually dishing out the finishing blow.
Can somebody check on Maurice? You're telling me he hasn't pushed for that kill? It's a changed man.
I mean, he's already got 4.
It's a changed man, so he is. My goodness.
At the point where Dunlimited are struggling with a solo Roma, out there, just a Jaeger doing Jaeger things. Yeah, it's impressive. Ace is well done. Good 4K, but shouldn't happen. Should it?
No, it shouldn't happen.
In any world.
Don't know why I'm laughing. I think I'm just laughing at you.
Deary me, Dunlimited.
I would have liked to have seen more exotic pushes from Dunlimited.
It's not even exotic, just something a bit better.
I think the exotic pushes on Cafe are great. And hopefully we'll see some of them from Wild. But I think rush strategies in Cafe are very, very good. Because I think, again, we've mentioned before, Cafe, about all those different angles. Equally, attackers have a lot of different angles for them. Like, if you look at Heaven Repel, right? That window. Think of the angles you can get in towards that site that you can cut off from. If you're going for rushes and you're panicking, defenders are just going to be walking into those sight lines. That's where I think as well for attackers, you can play some really high advantage stuff. As if you just try and catch them by surprise, you try and disrupt the defense. The worst thing you can do as Cafe is play in, I think, to the defense and the utility. How many times have we seen teams waste about 10 different pieces of utility into piano and still not get a shield?
And then the ADS comes back online.
Exactly. How many times do we see that? It is an unforgiving map. That's probably why it's not as popular, because teams know that. You have to have a certain playstyle, and if you're not up for playing Cafe on the day, you're done. You are done.
Well, we both know it comes down to how you play on the day.
Of course it is.
So far, Maurice is having a pretty good day. Aces 9-2.
Yeah.
I really hope the Flores drone saw the frost mat underneath the hatch. It didn't destroy it. I don't know that was its initial goal. Kaneo? She's having a bit of a tough time on the old arcade shooter there. If someone gets caught in the frost mat underneath Skylight, by the way, I will lose it.
How will you lose it?
I don't know, but I really want it to happen.
Again, Unlimited, very slow. Very slow. It's one thing I've picked up on throughout this entire game, is they just don't really have a lot going for themselves at around the halfway mark. Very little has been done. I mean, red walls aren't even opened up yet, Ollie. They have a hard breacher, they can do that. You talk about frost mats. What about that one in towards Cigar Shop? That one behind the
desk.
Behind the counter.
There's a bit of a weird one in Cocktail as well. It's like tucked behind the wall.
Get in there. Do a vault. Go on. Go on. He's not buying it.
Maybe buys it in a second, though, because it could be seen as a good place to retreat back into, but he isn't being given sufficient pressure.
Yeah.
Oh, he goes for it in the end. IWY.
Get him out. Get him gone.
See you later, friend.
And that's not an easy position to pick up a teammate as well, Ollie.
Like, well, everybody knows now as well. Rorik from below.
The Roman Jaeger.
Finally has been shut down. Nordwin, he's going to pick one up onto Kaneo as well. Frostmat down or not. This is looking pretty good here for Unlimited J. If he picks his time to strike, he may be rewarded, but there's still a cross being held in piano. And I'm not sure that he's all that aware. Ooh. He will be now as he hears the breaching round go through, but Hypex with the Ferrari peak is going to take him down. This is shaping up to be a flawless here unless BZ has anything to say. The diffuser is going to be getting planted now by Army. A little bit of a swing through there into Pixel, and Rorik will shut down that finishing player and securing the flawless round here for Unlimited on their last attacking round.
Indeed. Not a fan of that Roman Jaeger, Ollie. I'm just not.
Well, it's finally been dealt with.
Yeah.
It should have been dealt with in every single round because he's doing it on his own, without any information, without any support. Still, we can breathe. A 3-3 split for Unlimited. They'll be happy with that on the attack. It's now Wild's turn.
This is what I'm looking forward to, is to see how Wild want to attack. Because I think this is the team for me which just you don't know. You don't know. Lucky dip. What are you going to get?
In a lucky dip. I haven't got the best luck. Are you talking like where you just put your hand into a basket of wrapped presents and pull a wrapped present out?
Sure, whatever if you want to.
And you open it up and it's like a bookmark or
it's
something.
It's not like pass the parcel, is it?
No.
10 seconds to go.
That's a staple game back in the day. Whenever we were young'uns.
What, pass the parcel? Yeah?
You can forget.
Were you a slow unwrapper or were you quite quick?
It never landed on me. What a joke.
See, I was the kind of kid that would try and get through 2 layers.
Do you remember it used to be that game where... I say that game. Musical Chairs, quite famous actually. I don't know I don't know why I thought Musical Chairs was like a niche game.
Explain Musical Chairs.
I don't know why I've done that, but you always used to like walk really slow, and then you'd run fast as you can to get around to the other side, and it's really slow.
Yeah.
You used to do that a lot.
Round number 7. Unlimited going to be starting on the defense this time as the sides have switched. Now, with Wild not being able to rely on and roaming Jaeger, some of these rounds could go quite differently, Demo, because I think Aces had a big part to say.
Nah, Unlimited, they've actually one-upped Wild. Not only is the Roman Jaeger in the business, also a Roman Rooney. Also.
But that's much better because you've got somebody to trade off there. You've got a little bit more of something to work with.
But in what universe do Wild think, oh yeah, we have to go and clear out the 2 non-C4 users in mid-floor? For what purpose that serves?
As long as they can get back to site, okay.
You don't need to attack roamers if you're attacking top floor. You don't need to. It's not needed. They're just going to ignore that. That's obvious. They're in piano, which is generally the tough thing to do, Ollie, but nobody wanting to put up a fight. No pixel shield. You've got a lone man inside a bathroom, has a bit of utility. 2 ADSs. Get rid of the bulletproof. But that wall being electrified, Ollie, that's not going to be opened anytime soon. I mean, it doesn't even matter. Wild don't even have hard breach, Ollie.
Nade going to get bounced around the corner, but it's going to be no good, I'm afraid. Nordwin going to be in position to take down Kaneo. These bottom floor players are providing a little bit of value here. Long nade going to be attempted here for the bulletproof, and it will be successful. Aces is there in position to grab that trade.
It's a good ang.
Doesn't quite get the glimpse of the player that's going to be inside a freezer there. This is where you do start to worry that Unlimited's roamers have made it back okay, because the pressure is going to be coming in pretty thick and fast onto the site. Ace has got himself in a reasonable position here underneath New Hatch, but as some of this utility comes back online, it's going to need to be re-dealt with.
I like that rotation from Jay. Goes on towards Heaven Window. Aces just fronts up and says, I'm going to push in. I'm going to be the man to find the kills. But still trade it back and forth. All it's essentially a 2 versus 2 into a 1v2 with Jay. Now a 1v1, but Rorik swings at the perfect moment. Massive, massive play from him, and just single-handedly saves his team in that round.
I think Unlimited have done really well there in that round, particularly on their use of the utility. We saw a much different attacking strategy, I guess, out of WYL than we did see out of Unlimited, and likewise, Unlimited, they leaned into that util quite well. They had 2 bulletproof cameras, they had the Maestro, they had a lot of things going for them there. And they played off the back of it quite well. Wild, again, it just seemed like the same as Unlimited, they'd skipped a couple of steps.
Well, they didn't bring any hard breach. That was one. I'm sure you can probably argue and say, oh, well, you know, hard breach, you can probably get away with that. But as we know, if teams are not fortifying Piano anymore because Azami and Mirror's being banned away, they're not even going to attempt to hold Piano. So where's all that utility going to go instead? It's probably just going to go into the bomb site. That probably means that getting open those walls is going to be quite easy, essentially. Because if you think about teams holding Piano, 9 times out of 10, you're going to see teams open up freezer wall, aren't they? They try and support their teammates, give them better crossfires. But if you're not playing in Piano, you may as well just double reinforce the freezer walls, which was done. And it was not opened up. It was not challenged by the attackers. Once again, look, knowing that they're not going to hold in towards Piano, they're just going to fully reinforce up the freezer walls and let it be done. However, hard breach this time.
We do have a Pulse coming in as well. Nordwin maybe opting to bring that heartbeat sensor. I really like Pulse. I really like Pulse on Cafe. I think it's a great pickup.
Why is that?
Information gain.
Okay, what else?
C4 potential.
Okay, yeah, anything else?
Bald head.
But
Sunglasses inside.
Is that why you like Tim?
Why sunglasses inside?
It's Tim wearing sunglasses inside.
No, but Pulse does. Only cool people wear sunglasses inside. Oof. Nordwin.
Very close. Very close.
Nearly. Doesn't dish any damage out in return and nearly takes a whole lot. Almost sent back to the cameras. You've got to be a little bit more careful now, but still going to be able to gather a little bit of info. He's getting droned, though, which could be a little bit of a problem. Of course, the Pulse here is relying on some sort of a push going in onto that top floor, but for the meantime, WYL are going for quite the flat approach.
Yeah. Still, you can find out information. Now they're going to know that Wild are geared up and ready for a train execute. I wonder if they're going to go for the same approach that Unlimited had, where they would then shift their approach towards pillars and in towards the reading. Double door, Nordwind, you sly dog. He's almost tried to pull a blind one against BZ, and that, as we know, would have been a massive kill onto Habana.
We've got the outlines. I'm telling you now, in real life, you would see barely any different there. That's 1 or 2 pixels different of colour. Eventually, Curiosity gets the better of him, and Nordwin will be downed. Not finished off, but downed all the same. Kaneo likely knows this and is looking maybe for something on the refrag. A little bit of a peek there coming in through from Habana. Army taking a bit of damage in return. Rorik could have something to say as he's up on the balcony, drops down and gets himself into another engagement, picks up the kill onto BZ. I really wasn't expecting that. Kaneo now left to try and gather what he can here. Flashed. Pushing up those brown stairs. Jay eventually
2 downs.
puts an end there to Hypex. As you say, Demo, 2 players being down now essentially means this is a 3 versus 2 in favour of Wild. There isn't much chance that these players get revived, although they maybe can provide a little bit of info. Something we don't see all too often is the old Cybertruck Hollow. IWI, can you make it work for you and your team here? Puts a bit of damage in, but with the plant going down, he's going to have to try and do something. Picks the kill onto Jay. You've got a peek. You know the plant's going down. Surely you heard it. The down player not able to provide any information at all. Jay credited with the kill from earlier. IWI locked into the engagement. He's prone. Pre-fire through the bookcase. You've got to do something. There's only 32 seconds left. Hits him with one bullet, Demo. What's going on? Please use the ammunition you have. IWY. He makes a meal of it, but he gets the job done.
Oh dear, I've never heard your voice go that high before. Oh my, that must have really got underneath your skin.
Attempt failed. Defenders win.
Don't explain yourself.
IWY wants to explain himself.
A timeout. A timeout. It's a tilter. What is it today with players not wanting to take above? For me, I always looked at reading and thought, take above, clear out reading, and then just go for it.
Well,
What's been this new shift where they're taking mid floor and that's it?
That was the whole thing about Cafe, wasn't it? It was, people saw it as not boring, but people saw it as quite samey because the top floor defense and any mid floor defense played out very similar. The difference was that the site was on the mid floor, but you still held top floor. You still had somebody inside a cocktail. You had a couple of reinforcements, maybe a mirror window, maestro camera, all this sort of carry on. And there's just a bit of more of a reluctance now to sort of use that utility and take it up there. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but I do just feel like if you're going to play for the plant, which is very common on a reading room, by the way, I think that's, I haven't got the statistics for it, but the plant goes down on reading room more than it does elsewhere for some reason. Then you've got to hold above because that is the biggest vulnerability.
I mean, it's just like Rorik's just got an easy double kill where he shouldn't be getting.
I mean, he shouldn't have got the second. The first was great timing for him, bad timing for the enemy, but Unlimited 5-3 up here. Wild need to start finding some rounds soon. We mentioned that 3 rounds for Unlimited on their attack could look quite good, and so far, Demo, it's looking excellent for them. Wild yet to break the seal here on attack.
I thought it would have been more chaotic. I'll be honest, Ollie. Helios Gaming, these are still the kings in my book. Don't worry. I thought these could actually challenge. No, I don't have that same feeling again. Do I have too many high standards for that Helios Gaming team?
I don't know. I'm like, that last play's tilted me a little bit.
Right, yeah, you seem to get tilted. Just Robin.Helios, what a player, what a gamer he was. Honestly, will go down as possibly one of the best ever CL players I've ever witnessed. Do you think I'm joking?
No.
No.
That's why I'm chuckling.
Robin is a beast.
Bit of gridders. If the sum of your tactical timeout is we're going to play the gridlock, I'm unsure.
I think that timeout probably was Cam, because that would have been a tilting round. 100% that would have tilted you. So I think that timeout was probably just to keep them composed and they don't fully destroy themselves mentally. Aces. Blinder for game, Ollie. 13 kills he has, just walks in, finds one, walks back out.
Reminds me of a couple of performances at the major that players had where they would have an incredible game KD-wise, but the team around them wasn't always pulling in the same direction. Army looks like he's going to take this engagement. Fully commits there. Is able to do quite a bit of damage, but the nade coming in is going to be enough for him to push back out. Doesn't take any damage in return. Another nade threatening here with the C4. It's, as we can see, not going to do all too much. Stinger's coming in. He should be able to deal with that quite easy. But Kaneo is going to be in position to knock him down. Hypex just making his way down those gold stairs now into the blender. But 2 kills coming in on the return here for Unlimited, maintain an equal man advantage. Aces, very low as well. There are quite a few vulnerabilities in this site now, and with the amount of time that's left, Wild don't look in bad shape.
Well, there is only one denial, only one C4 from Hypex. No smoke you have to worry about, no echo cams that you have to clear out. And Aces will eliminate Rorik, so Hypex really has to make a play here, Ollie. He's now going to try and slip up and gets Aces. Walks straight into Coat. There were a few track stingers, but since then, just walked past. I don't think the track stingers caught where it probably wanted to be. I think it's a little bit more over to the corner. Yeah, you see most of them kind of dispersed in behind instead of on the doorway. Good rotation now from Hypex. He's back in sight prone on the soft wall. Can fire that C4 out. Canio, there's going to be a lot of pressure onto him, Ollie, because he needs to deny this. He needs to stop that C4 from nailing BZ as he moves in for the plant.
15 seconds or so left now. Hypex, full white flash just wearing off ever so slightly. Nordwin has got the information. He's going to send it across. The C4 lands. That was diffuser down. Hypex, he pops up and grabs himself the second. Look at him go here. Great shot there onto the freezer player.
He's not back to front. C4 for the non-diffused carrier, gun for the diffuser carrier.
Well, I thought that the diffuser would be the first one. Why wouldn't you give the diffuser to the guy that's going to be pushing in deep? Alas, it didn't really matter. Unlimited, they're going to put themselves onto a map point here. Looking to start this best of 3 off quite strong.
Yeah. Yeah, Wild. The attacks.
Deary me.
They haven't won one. I have to mention that. And also one thing I haven't mentioned, whoever loses this game is, no, well, not this map, but the series is done. That's it. Pack your bags, boys. You're not playing CL no more.
Doesn't have the same ring to
No,
it.
it doesn't have the same ring, does it?
You could say they're going home, but they're probably already playing from home. You're out. Plenty of siege left to go, though. Still got a full clubhouse guaranteed. And depending on whether Wild get their act together or not, potentially a theme park.
10 seconds to go.
Big round from Hypex there.
Yeah. I think that kill on Aces was great confidence, wasn't it? That's one thing you can say about this Unlimited side. They're not afraid of taking a challenge whenever they know they need to.
Well, just look at him. The spread of kills. It's between 5 and 9.
Yeah.
There's a 4-kill spread for Unlimited. Let's have a look over at Wild. There's a 12-kill spread. We've got players down at 2. We've got players up at 14. That's the indicator. Right there.
Is that the thing for you? Is that always the way you look at games, is you look at the kills and think, well, they're a more complete unit. This guy's having a life game.
Quite often.
Well, I think we've seen that from Wild the last time they played, where Maurice played incredible one map, and then the next map, he wasn't there.
It's just a good way of judging it, you know. Because all of a sudden you think, all right, we've got BZ and Giesler against, I don't know, Army and Nordwin. Who have you got more confidence in?
True.
3 kills, 2 kills, or 5 kills, 7 kills. They're all the lowest kill getters on their respective team. But you think, well, they've been successful in more gunfights tonight. It isn't as reductive as that always, but certainly for Wild, it has been a little bit of a problem here tonight.
So we see the bomb site that we haven't seen yet tonight, Ollie. Mining makes an appearance. This is the other bomb site that we generally see in the rotation. And this one's a little bit more trickier, I find, for defenders, because Piano is a lot more of a crucial place that you need to try and hold. And again, we've mentioned before, Piano, without Azami, without Mira, it is difficult. It is difficult to hold that bomb site. And the reason why you need to hold Piano is there's a hatch that basically cements your 2 bomb sites away from one another. You have that connector hatch inside a train that just shuts down everything. So that's the main reason why Piano is just a necessity to be held. Rorik is just dancing underneath that red hatch for the entire round and just walks down red and shoots Aces in the back. How's that being allowed to happen? I don't know.
I'm not sure how he gets away with that. Jay going to get immediately taken out there by Army. This push from Wild has been strange to say the least. Giesler, diffuser carrier. Going to be pushing himself up red stairs straight into Army.
I'm sorry.
Honestly,
Can we,
I'm not too sure why Wild have chosen to just go through one window and one staircase there. A very strange way to end out Cafe. But the Unlimited, they played the game that was in front of them, Demo, and they played it very well. 3 rounds on their attacks and flawless on their defenses. 14 kills and 7 deaths.